Hello. So we're looking at an Oaks. I did an open run the other night. This is from the title says 2024, Year of Our Lord, goddammit. 01 January 20 January 20th. So one night, 2 night ago, something like that. About 2 nights ago. Um and I was a full parse DD. Just just a parse arcanist, nothing special. I was using ultipots. That doesn't really matter, but like, just I was going crazy. Going crazy, trying to do some damage. So, I recorded the run, just like a little bit of it to, maybe make a video like this, like what we're doing right now, where I go over it. I go over what I do, my thought process, like what you know, how because I already made a video about like Oaks tips, but like, maybe seeing it in action, I can give you guys some extra pointers. I have not watched this yet, so this will be my first time. I'll just be pointing things out as I see it. I also muted it because I was fucking talking in it. I thought I was muted, but teehee. So we're just gonna mute the video so you don't hear all that. Um, okay, so first things first, when you start an Oaks, okay, I don't know how to get rid of this little bar, little player bar. I don't know how to get rid of that, but it's there to stay. It's not going away. So, um, you're gonna pre-buff everything that you've got, like before Oaks gets pulled, right? That's pretty normal, right? You want your blockade to be placed. You want your Crux Weaver armor to be active. Your scholarship active. You want your quick cloak active. Your trap already placed on the spot where the Oaks is going to be put at. And then if you're in Coral, like you can see right here, I'm in Coral, Riptide, Deadly Strike. If using Coral, you want your stamina to be low off the opening. Uh, I usually start somewhere in the range of like 30 to 40%. If it's like 40%, great, fantastic, love that. 30 might be pushing it a bit too low. I might run out of stamina, but like 30, 40, great, lovely. Start there. So I've got all my stuff ready to go. Tank's about to pull. Tank's about to say 3, 2, 1, ooga booga. When I go into this fight, my opening here does not include a Languid, my ulti. I'm not gonna pop that until first mini comes out. This is not talking about like score pushing or anything like that. If you're score pushing, then sure, try to push single target on Oaks as much as you can, ulti off the bat. But that was not the purpose of today. This is an open run, just trying to get a clear. And also in Planesbreaker groups where you just want the title of Planesbreaker, you're just trying to get in there and not die. Save your languids for the first mini, I beg you, right? Your team is gonna love you for that. So when I go in, no languid, all my stuff's already pre-placed, so what does that leave me to do, right? I'm just gonna flail, beam, from my opening. Flail, beam. And then you're supposed to, after you're done beaming, fulminating rune. Yeah, I did that. Okay, re-up my wall. Flail, beam, always back to beam. Get back to beam as quick as possible. Okay, so now a mini's coming down, right? So I'm trying my best to stay out of these AoEs. I don't want to take this damage if I don't have to. Let's go ahead and replay that like a tiny bit. So he's gonna say mini spawning or ad spawning. Every single AoE, I'm gonna try my hardest to avoid if I can, if it makes sense to. So like, there's the first one. I'm not anywhere near it. I don't have to worry about it. Okay, where's the next one? That one, I'm close to it, but I'm not gonna be in it. Great. Next one, same spot. I'm not in it. Next one, here's this one. Instead of just eating it for no reason, you're not losing any damage by getting out of it. There's no problem getting out of it, right? So, you know, don't take damage when you don't have to take damage. That's an easy way to get yourself killed. Even if there's nothing going on, you think there's nothing going on, just don't take it anyway. Who cares? Play safe. You're trying to get Planesbreaker, play safe. Okay, so now that the mini has spawned, I use an add-on called Elms Markers, where me and my team can put a little, you know, a little icon on certain parts of the map where, you know, like this orange diamond here is where Oak should be standing, and this other orange diamond to the right is where the mini should be standing. So if the mini is there and Oaks is there, then, you know, this is a really, really helpful thing for placing your ultimate, right? Because I can just aim in between these two markers, right, at the midpoint and place my languid there, and it should probably hit as long as the tanks position their bosses in the diamonds. So mini landed. I'm gonna place my languid. You know, I'm gonna start beaming both. Get all my dots up. Yep, here's the languid. See, I don't even look at the mini, right? I'm gonna place my languid at the midpoint of these two markers. If you don't use those markers already, hit me up, dog. I got you. They're fantastic. They're really, really helpful. I know a lot of the time, these markers are only used by the tanks in a group, but I find as a DD, it's so helpful if I have these markers myself, because then I know how to place my languid. I know how to place my dots and stuff like that to hit both. And if the tanks don't position their stuff the right way, that's their fault, right? At least I know that's where they should be. Okay, so like mini spawned, I dropped my languid. What's the first thing that I should be prioritizing, right? I need to have my blockade between both off the bat. I need to have trap and fulminating rune on the mini. Trap the mini once and then fulminating rune as many times as you need to until it dies. But like that's important. If you don't trap and fulminating the mini every time, it probably won't die on time. You need all of that damage on the mini so that he dies before next one spawns. It just makes things a lot more consistent and safe. You can also, you have the option of trapping both. We talked about that in my Oaks parse tips video, where you can place trap, and then once it activates, you can place trap on another target, and you can have both traps ticking at the same time. I don't know if it's worth it if you could just flail and beam. I don't know the damage on that, but it's something that you can do if you want to. But I prefer just trapping the mini and playing it safe and not over pushing Oaks, just for the purposes of getting Planesbreaker. That's what we're looking at today. I'm trying to help you guys get an easy title. Okay, so I'm gonna place my blockade. There it is, right there. My cloak, or no, I'm just beaming. Okay, but as you can see, we talked about this in the other video. I like to stand right here. This is a fantastic spot to stand. I love it. It's great, right? You just aim your beam through the mini to Oaks. You're always aiming at Oaks, right? It's great. My flail and my beam are gonna hit from right here. Now here's the thing. I have a little Rockruff helper add-on. Tells me when poisons and when blitz are happening. This is something that you should have your eyes glued to, right? Know when charge is gonna come out, because the only time it's a little unsafe to stand back here or any farther is during blitz. Any other time, you can stand wherever the hell you want in this arena, and it doesn't matter. It's fine. So, also another thing, these days, healers are supposed to compensate for you. In my opinion, that's not a popular opinion sometimes, but these days, what we've gotten used to is arcanists are going to stand in this spot, and the healers that are catching charge need to account for that and go farther out. So you should never catch charge if a healer is doing their job. Like if you're standing in this spot directly right behind the mini, see, look, Starchild caught it. Kite heal will account for you. They should if they're good. And he can still get his job done, right? He was farther back than me, and he still canceled the charge perfectly. Fantastic. I can keep standing here. You know, perfect spot. I love it. I think it's a great spot. So our whole thing here is just keep your blockade up. You know, flail beam. Get back to beam as soon as possible. I should drop another languid here. Yup, huge. And then again, I'm aiming it at the midpoint between those two markers. Good thing my tanks are good for this run. They're holding things where they should, but you know, I like having the markers anyway. That way I know you know, I can get a much better visual of where the midpoint is. That way I don't mess up my languid. And then here's another thing. We should probably look at this as well. Can you scoot this back? Okay, add spawning. Let's take a peek at this. Let's see where the AoE spawn at. Here's one right next to me. Where am I going to go? I'm going to go out of it. I still got hit, but listen, I made an effort. And that's all that counts. So here's another one I'm going to try to get out of it. I did get out of it. See, I'm making an effort to move because I don't want to get hit by those. I don't want to take extra damage. It's just really, really stupid. Like, here's another one. I stepped out of it. Here's the big one I'm going to try to step out of because there's no reason for me to be in it, right? There's no reason for me to take that extra damage. You can see these little tiny AoEs under my feet as well. This is Magma Sludge. Magma Sludge will nuke the shit out of you. That shit hurts so bad. Magma Sludge will do like roughly 10k of your health, something like that. So I'm pretty sure I stand in this one. Let's see. Or 8k? 9k? Just from standing in a little AoE that I could barely see. Try to move out of these as much as possible. Just like 100%. If they're next to you, see, I walked out of that one. I'm trying to walk out of these ones. I'm walking out of everything. Sunburst. Don't roll dodge either. That's a damage loss. You can keep beaming. Just fucking walk out of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, there's one on my left. I'm not gonna be in it. There's one on my right. I'm not gonna be in it. Oh, move out of that one. Never mind. I'm just gonna be fucking stupid and stand in it. Like, I don't know. The more magma sludges you stand in, the more of a chance you're gonna have at dying. You want PB, don't stand in those. Get out of that. Just walk. You can keep beaming. You don't have to roll dodge. You don't have to block. You just step out of that sunburst. Look at me just eating magma sludge. Here's another one. Am I gonna just eat it? Of course I am. It's an open run, so I'm not really worried about getting PB. I already have fucking a bunch of them. You know, I'm here for a big parse number, but if you're trying to get PB, like I said, just don't stand in anything. Play super safe. Oax is an easy fight if you're just avoiding all the damage. I'm making little efforts here and there. You can tell. I'm making tiny efforts to get out of it. Also, I that languid, I don't think that hit. I don't think that's hitting Oax. It might be. I don't know. But that's kind of fucking scary. Yikes. Okay, nothing's going on here. We can be close to the boss. Cool. Another ad spawning. AoE out there. I'm not in it. Next AoE right next to me. Step out of it to the left. Left side. We're gonna go there. Yup. Cool. Neat. Another one. Another one. Another one. I'm not in any of them. Great. Let's make sure my blockade's placed. Yep. And then beam. So charges are incoming. But I will tell you, here's one thing. Let's take a peek at this. Oax works in a very, like, if you know how it works, you know how it works, right? Like, he has like 3 mechanics that he'll do, right? Or like, oh, he'll do a couple, but let's say right here, he's got poison and blitz both queued up. I guarantee you what he's going to do is he's going to do poison first. He's going to choose poison first out of those 2 options. So we'll see that pop up. Noxious Sludge, absolutely. He's going to shoot poisons out. And then once poisons go out, he's not going to do blitz. He's going to do a big slam on the ground. Let's see if he does that, right? There it is. There's the big slam on the ground. And then after that slam, then he's going to do charge. So you can use that as a DD, like, oh, you know, I know he's not going to. It said incoming for a long time, but I can stay out, you know, the whole time until after that slam. Then I should probably, you know, maybe move in a little bit, right? So here's charge 1. This is another thing. I don't know why. Well, I know why. Okay. So when the first charge goes out, once you reach past 50%, you're going to get double charges, right? First charge goes out. That's a normal charge. It's the same person catching the same charge that's been happening the entire fight. But for some reason, when the second charge comes out, sometimes the healer won't be far enough to grab it, or the DDs will be too far. So just to play it safe, I usually just tell my DDs, like, hey, just scoot in. Like, as soon as you see that the blitz is on Star Child for the first one, as soon as you see the first blitz went out, go ahead and just scoot in. Just for a little bit. Just for a tiny, tiny bit until that second charge goes out, and then you can go back and keep hitting the mini. But just to make sure, just make sure that you don't grab charge, because if you do, it's going to go straight through group. It's going to enrage. It's going to cause a wipe. You're going to have to reset. You don't want to do that. So, yeah, even for the first charge. I mean, fuck it. Even for the first charge, if you just want to scoot in a little bit to make sure that you are not the one that got it, and you make sure it's a healer, that's fine. That's cool. Play it safe. Get your bag, dude. But you'll see me here. I'll move in a little bit, right? And we talked about this before, right? Remember this? Your beam can hit behind you, right? Your beam can hit behind you. Let's go and rewind just a little bit. Okay, so right here, when I start beaming, you can see the damage numbers still ticking on him. That is my beam doing hella damage. We did a whole 360 around the mini, and my beam was hitting it all the time. But yeah, no, I moved in when charge was happening, and then I moved right back out as soon as it's done. Languided in the middle, fantastic. This is the last mini that we're killing in this group. Some groups do a double mini skip where they skip 50% and 20% minis. They'll only kill the first two and then just kill Oax. This is not what most PBs do. This is not what this group is doing for the open run. Usually you're going to kill 3 and then skip the last one. Yes. Eating a lot of magma sludges right there. I don't need to be. It's damage that I don't need to take. Really, really boring fight for like half of it. Okay, so guy in group got charged. Let's see what happened there. Let's go see what happened. Okay, blitz is incoming. What we got? Guy behind me. He looks like he's not entirely. Yeah, he's not where I'm at. This is why it's important for you to be on the mini. Like, be right next to the mini. If you're back here, like a couple steps behind me, 100% you way 100% risk getting charged. Because look, the healer's back here. Like, this is the kite heal with the little blue icon, and then crown is Mitch. He's the warden healer. Both of them are pretty far back away from Oax. It's just the fact that this guy is further. Don't be here. This is really bad. You don't want to be back there. And then I made the smart decision to get the fuck out of there. Usually, you know, this would throw a PB. We already talked about that earlier. Catching charge and having it go through mini usually throws PB, but you know, it was an open run. We were having fun. I didn't die, so I kept recording. Everything's back to normal. I'm not gonna res because fuck that. Dropping my languid. I'm going to town. Can't stop me. This is important. I'm surprised I've only gotten one this whole time. When you get Cinder Cleave from the mini, his conal thing, you always want to roll dodge it every single time, even if it's not yours, even if it's somebody else's. You always want to roll dodge it because it places a really nasty dot on you that does, like, I can't remember the numbers, but it's like 5k a second, and you don't want to really take 5k a second because I'm pretty sure it's more than that, but let's just say, you know, lowball it 5k a second. You know, you take anything else with that. Let's say you take, you know, Ashen Wounds from Cindercleave, you take Magma Sludge, maybe let's say 2 of them, you're dead right there. That's 10k, 10k, 5k, 25k, that's more than my health bar, so, you know, you would have died there. That's why, you know, I've said this a billion times, don't take damage. You know, why take damage when you couldn't, right? You don't have to. You're not legally forced. You're not legally binded to take damage. So, you know, I'm definitely gonna roll this. There it is. There's the roll. After this mini dies, we're not killing another one. So, just a little bit more to go. And then we get to hug Oax the rest of the time. This is the easy portion of the fight for the DDs. There's nothing happening other than you're killing Oax. Also, here's another thing. Let's talk about this, right? Because I've seen quite a few people die to it. You see charges coming out? I know I just said hug Oax. I said that. I didn't mean it. Okay? So I really I've seen it plenty where people will, they'll literally hug Oax and they'll die to a chomp. So let's see. Star Child's gonna catch first charge here. Yup, okay. So this. Do you see his mouth is open? Oax's mouth is wide open, ready to chomp. When he chomps, when he bites in front of his character model, anything anywhere near that mouth is going to die. You're just gonna get you're gonna get toasted real hard. So wham, anybody near that, dead. So you see me back up. I'm backing up. I'm not gonna be anywhere near that shit when it goes off. Not a fucking chance. You're not gonna catch me getting bit. Won't happen. Okay, here's Mitch coming in. Bam. Anything near that bite over there would have just been obliterated. So never ever stand anywhere close to Oax when he's charging. Like, we say hug boss, we just mean like, get close to him a little bit. Don't be in him. Okay, we're not killing this many. You're just single target focused on Oax. If you want to get a bigger parse, you can hit both. But it doesn't matter. It's not like you're killing it. It's just wasted damage. You just focused on Oax. Get out of that. Yep. This is the easiest part for DD. Is literally just stand here, roll. Remember, we never want to take that cone. Never, ever. Okay, and that was it. I don't know. I do that same thing. Anything you watched me do, I do that same thing every single time. Every single time I do Oax, I do the same thing over and over again. And I just so happened to get the top parse. I did 152k damage, and the next guy did 124. Gapped a little bit. Not my highest parse, but I did pretty good for this one. Okay, so that was it. I just wanted to show you Oax. Thank you for watching. This video took 23 minutes. Yikes. Oh my god, that's pretty long. It's gonna take forever to upload. I'll see you later.